Welcome everybody to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Tengoku Daimakyou. Season 1, hopefully, and not just the whole show. Episode 11. The test begins. Sorry we were late on this one. Lindsay just had to ruin it with all her plans with what will probably be like a huge episode. Everybody's been fiending for this reaction in a way that they kind of didn't before, so we're not spoiled, but we know that it's
maybe something actually happens.
It's probably a big one. I think I saw one image from something that might happen this episode, so I'm a little bit spoiled, but not really. I'll say what I saw after the episodes as to not spoil Lindsay, but
I saw this character lying dead.
No, I didn't see anyone dead, but that doesn't mean that somebody won't die. Anyway, that's a little update. Next episode will be coming on time, and it'll be the last one, I think. Or maybe there's one more after that, I'm not sure. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Oh, all the new kids are here. Everybody seems to be getting along.
He's harassing
Wait,
everyone.
what? She has those crazy ears?
Oh.
We didn't see Mimihime's ear. I thought that was just her hair. I didn't know that was her. That was looking like the kid riding her is pulling on these cow ears.
Oh. What?
Yeah. I mean, the person that we saw had like their head wrapped up. It's not that bizarre compared to what the other shit we've seen. This is the image that I saw.
Okay.
Was that telekinesis or whoa? What the hell was that? You see that?
I don't.
This whole thing is weird.
Is it? I thought it was like that before.
That little spider, that centipede
Not
thing.
that.
It's like weird this time. I'm so stressed out right now.
Me too.
Glad I put on deodorant. Fuck. What was that with Kona? That's so weird. It was a premonition, it looked like.
Well, it was before everyone was talking about him like speaking things or like imagining things into existence. What if he was like?
Was that said in the show? I feel like that's just the comments saying
theory.
that. I don't know if he's actually doing that. Like,
I don't know, but I was saying like I wonder if he could say that and then the baby gets born. I don't know.
Maybe it's a theory or a spoiler. Like I don't know.
I don't know. Oh yeah, and that's the most of your worries right now.
What's more of their worries?
I mean, I'm just saying like this car is so bad and.
No. He misspelled. Maybe not. In case you run into somebody who knew him. Our 11th car. It seems like this in the show, there's so much like little wordplay and like grammar jokes and shit. I wish I knew Japanese. Kakara Academy. Oh, before I forget, I was rewatching the first episode. Oh, shit, I'll say it later. I thought I had a second to say it. All right, scientist guy.
He's in like the same kind of deal where they had those other babies. Combatants.
彼らの武器、スーパービームの試作品もできました。後の
That's the gun prototype.
病気の子たちにもあの病気は発症するんでしょうね。
はい、おそらく。ないとは言い切れなくもないことはないです。
Maybe that's why if this place falls, there's just so many more. They can't contain it. There's just like twice or 3 times the amount of kids there that'll turn into monsters. Possibly.
かけるとは。
時代くんの子供ですよ。 子供たち同士の子産んだのではない子供たち同士の子徹底的に予定外
Childbirth
決定的に別物自分の子供そこにかけますやってくれますね
Wager everything.
完全に壊れた世の中に天国が芽吹くのを見届けなければならないがしかし人間が寿命という足かせを外さなければそれは叶わない高原学園がそれをやります
So they're trying
この
to
移植
become
は色
immortal.
物の方が15歳少なくとも13歳くらいに成長していなければ無理です
私があと13年も生きられないとでも 何せ80歳
Trying to transplant her brain into this child?
ますますなんだ
Or one of the children?
Wow. Well, I kind of hope you die now.
Is that what this is all for?
This is that's so dumb on behalf of these people.
Just
if that's what
self-centered,
all
not
of
even like, oh, we'll research, make sure humanity's better. Like, no, I need to live!
Yeah.
気づいているのでしょまず青島さんになります私はそして入れ物が成長するのをゆっくり待ちますそれだけ
That's why she elected the woman
耐えられるでしょ
instead of this guy who's like more qualified so that she can body swap.
That's crazy.
あるんですか
This psycho.
いずれ園長になることを承諾したのと同じでしょ
そんなトンチみたいなのが許されますか
This lady is crazy.
This is why Asura is going against this shit, is because this lady is a tyrant.
Yeah.
She's just doing all of this, manipulating these kids, killing these kids, sacrificing them so that she can be immortal.
すでに引き返せないんですよ私たちはあとは進むか失敗するかしかないんです
He just pulls the beam on her.
必ず無事に出産させるんですよ
I was gonna say Taka is the bird creature from episode 1, was my theory. Because I rewatched episode 1. I just wanted to say that before, in case anything happens that's insane.
もう明かりを消せ。
あ、ごめん、眩しかった。
そうじゃない
Yeah.
この家物がないんだ一応警戒しといた方がいい
おーい。夕方寝たから眠くないんだよな。
It's gonna be out there.
ちょっとお姉ちゃんってもう寝てんのかよ。いいな、寝つきのいい人は。
What did you think about?
遠くに煙が見えるよ。
Oh, over there.
寝ぼけるなないだろ
寝ぼ
like a
けてない。
factory.
まだ寝てすらいないよ。
It's light pollution from... Yeah, it's light pollution.
あんなのが見えるってことは下に光源があるんだよな地図あと方位磁石
Is that gonna be where they're going?
まさに茨城施設の方向だな
行ってみる。
Not at night.
夜動くのは何かと危ないここに置いて歩いていこう
Good move.
That's still pretty far away to walk, though.
Yeah, but people, if there's scouts, they'll see a car. What the hell?
This place
It's like-
definitely looks like a haunted
It's
mad
fucking
scientist
iron
laboratory.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
what's his name? I forget his name. It's Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop.
What is he doing there?
He's with the scientists who went here. If this is heaven, because it is. No, it is because of the. Remember when? Fuck! I gotta pause. in order to say this. Fucking. And then it just gives us a shot of heaven too. So look. Boom. There are these things everywhere, right? These walkways. And then it's a similar kind of shit. It's maybe just a different part of the building.
Or maybe a different facility because there was like two, like.
Yeah, but they all got
Big-
moved to one. So maybe they're going to the empty one. Maybe the doctor and this guy went to this empty facility here.
It
And
is
it's the other one?
architecture for sure. But yeah, that thing's inside a big dome. So either it's the same one in that big dome
Yeah,
got
okay.
destroyed, or this was like a different kind of same thing.
Fuck, I wish the smoke wasn't in front of the text because I would pull up my phone and do Google Translate. Hang on. Let's see if we can, I just want to, this is so stupid because we're about to learn what it is, but I just want to, it's fun to do it like this. Hang on. My phone died! Shit! Give me your phone. You can select the text and photos on iPhone.
He's gonna have a hard time. It doesn't register it as text. I don't think it's gonna work.
Shit. I think this is Takahara at the bottom. So this is like facility at the top. I think that's what that says. I think it says facility or whatever Takahara or academy or whatever it would be. That's why.
Because there was like academies and what's it called? Facilities?
Let me just look up one. I won't look up Takahara because that'll be spoilers, but I'll look up Hara kanji. Fuck. Maybe
It could have also been something that was painted on there since.
Maybe. It doesn't look like it. It's like too high up to be like graffiti. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. Bro really thought he was cooking. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Shouldn't have let him cook.
Is there anything you want to say about all this before we go on while we've paused, so we don't pause again? What do you think of old bitch lady?
Do you think we should I don't know if we should stop and like say it all here or if there's gonna be like
if you have any,
more
you don't have to like deduce the entire story, but like, do you have anything you want to say before we move on?
I guess I just hate that old lady. And I hate that it's something so, like, frivolous.
Yeah.
Like, something so stupid, basically. I'm interested what they said, that, like, it was like, oh, this isn't a child birthed by Mina. I'm not sure what it
means, like, the AI of Mina, this, like, computer system they're using to, like, manipulate all the genetic code and, like, test tube baby this place all up. I'm pretty sure.
It is really, it's just so bizarre and so weird and interesting. And I'm wondering if whatever the serum thing that he has is maybe something that like the other scientist guy created to either maybe he cured because he was able to like get something off of Maru that helped him to create a cure for the disease, because maybe Maru as like the second generation was able to develop a resistance to the disease or whatever. Or
it's like a vaccine.
This is some kind of thing that will like someone is maybe in Tokyo's body and it will like kick them out.
But why wouldn't they inject it there? There must be a reason.
I'm honestly I'm not sure what, and like
it's maybe some sort of killing bullet for the director lady. So the director lady might actually survive. She might actually successfully transfer herself into the Miss Aoshima or whoever her name is.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be looking for Tokyo and like giving Tokyo that thing. So I'm really not sure.
Maybe the lady brain swapped into Tokyo.
That's what I was saying, is like if maybe she went in there instead. Maybe they deduced that after giving birth, Tokyo didn't show like different signs of getting taken over or something because of like the changes that her body went through.
Maybe also because of Maru touch. Because because remember we learned with the baby last episode, and the mom, one of the moms was the spider, right? And then the baby had the same power. So we deduced that like Tokyo must have a similar power at least to Maru touch. So maybe if there's a similar power to Maru touch, it's like immunity from the disease, because Maru can delete the disease from people. So maybe Tokyo has that, and maybe it actually is distilled from Maru's blood, and he needs to take it to this doctor guy, maybe the evil doctor guy who like brain swapped Haruki is actually not a bad guy. And they're gonna link up, and then he's gonna use that to help, like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just so interested in how it's
the fucking guy. This scientist guy is the doctor. He's the doctor.
You think so? He
We need
doesn't
to look
look
back.
like him at all.
15 years. 15
That's
years and
true.
apocalypse. He has a scar. I think the guy had glasses. Maybe he didn't. Let's look. That might be a bullshit theory, but let's check. I guess this episode would be the best. Or maybe the previous one.
I think it was the previous one.
We saw pictures in the previous.
He was like walking past the area, I think.
Yeah. Fuck Disney Plus. Bitch. Hang on.
Disney Plus is literally the worst.
Yeah, so this scientist, the doctor guy, seems like a piece of shit, and he seems weird and creepy, but he did the same brain swap procedure that the fucking lady wants to do.
Yeah. But then why would he just be doing that?
Maybe he did it, maybe he's altruistic and he like wants to make up for the shit, and the older sister probably just wanted to sacrifice herself for her brother. They
were both unconscious though.
Haruki, well, we don't know what happened. We know that Haruki got eaten. We see everything from Haruki's perspective. Mm-hmm. We don't see anything from the sister's perspective. It was my theory initially that she sacrificed herself. Or maybe the doctor knew that that's what she would want. Hang on. And like the fact that we learned that we just learned the director is trying to brain swap. Maybe she brain swapped with a guy as well, and that's the director doing it. And this is actually the director that's brain swapped into the guy. It's him. It has to be him.
He has the similar glasses.
He's not wearing glasses.
He has glasses
Oh,
right
he's
on
wearing
his
glasses
shirt.
on his shirt. It's got to be him. He has the same eye shape. The hair color's different, but he's gray.
Yeah, and his whole face shape is different.
It's similar, though. It's like he has a more chiseled jaw, but he also has a beard. Was there other guys that we saw? No, I don't think so. I think it was just him. There was like another fat scientist dude. I'm pretty sure this is him. If I had to put my money on it, I bet this was him. The fact that he's also performing the brain surgery.
Yeah, that could be.
And we just learned that the director wants the same shit. Mm-hmm. And he was supposed to take the mantle of director.
Yeah.
I don't think he's this evil guy that he's been kind of like. He's very mysterious right now, and this has to be the. Oh, maybe there's tape here. Does he have tape?
It has been a long time, so maybe he wouldn't have tape anymore.
Anyway, maybe if he gets hit in the head and gets this big scar.
And then what is this guy doing hanging out with him after he was all like, oh, stay away from that guy, he's creepy or whatever.
Maybe he learned the truth after Kiriko died and he like used his magic to fucking save Haruki. Then he's like indebted to him, or maybe learned something in that time.
Well, yeah, my original thing was that he had asked the doctor to do that because he cared more about him than the sister.
Ask the doctor to do that.
Like, that was my very original theory.
Maybe.
But then that didn't seem to make much sense with, like, what we saw. But then it's hard to be able to tell at this point.
Well, and maybe there was, like, a trade. It's like, I'll do this, I'll save this kid if you protect me or get me where I need to go. I need to go to this place. And because he had the Air Force jacket that he gave to Haruki.
Yeah.
So he might have like military training. So he's like an actual asset and a badass, and he could protect him, and then maybe they spent time together or trade some ideas and realized, you know what, it's probably maybe they have a goal that we don't kind of understand yet.
Yeah. It is interesting as well to think about what could have caused then this whole, like, the whole downfall of everything, especially when it's like, it doesn't seem like there's really an apocalypse going on unless there's also an apocalypse, because they're talking about the combatants, whatever that means.
There were 5 combatants? Hang on, let's check that out while we can.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to, like, make a bunch of
immortal children that they can brain swap into.
And then it will be heaven for them.
Container must be 15 years old. And Haruki was 15 when he got brain swapped. But the container... Fucking Lord Orochimaru over here. Is this even the first time? I don't see a head scar, I guess. This is fully the guy. Ask someone older, and then it goes to the
baby looks like an old man.
I should just went to the start. All 8 awoke from suspended animation. All 8. It must have been the babies without a face.
Then what is it about this suspended animation?
That's usually like cryo sleep or hibernation.
That's what I was also thinking of before, if Tokyo was in a state like that. I've been talking about that a couple episodes ago. And if possibly the serum could wake her up.
Oh, maybe. I wonder who the 8 are. How many man-eaters have we seen? Maybe we're wrong. No, we can't be wrong because there was confirmation.
I think that they're talking. Like, I think that they're doing this, and then at the same time, they're like, there's like some other project going on for like military style forces, because these kids are not being trained for military training in any way, but they may have like a separate thing that are like not for people to swap into, that are to like protect the facility. Basically, yeah. And it's interesting as well, and this also makes a lot of sense why the scientists were like bamboozled by everything that they were doing, because it was just like, why do they care? But it's because they are viewing them as like not human, as like not even people or not even like animals, basically, because they're looking at them as options for them to just swap into there, which is just kind of weird. Is kind of
that's why the whole New World Order government is like the secret society of all these rich people from around the world. They're so invested, is because they know that if they invest in this, they can be immortal. So that's why the New World Order thing makes sense. It's the secret society of all the world leaders that are like
They want to
paying
live
into
forever,
this.
yeah.
That's why everyone, like, there's a room full of laptops all of a sudden whenever there's a meeting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do we know anyone with purple eyes as well?
Not that I can think of. I kind of want to just finish the episode.
Yeah. Okay.
He looks rough too.
Yeah. Tomato heaven.
It's so weird that they show them his ears twice now.
It's Lily Pichu. Blind.
あなたはオーマで合ってる。君はみんなとは遊ばないの。みんなの迷惑。
Sad.
She's gonna have creepy eyes. She's gonna have weird alien looking eyes.
Whoa. What?
What the fuck? Whoa! 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 Oh, this is like the power. This is the power. It's the no, it's not Mimi. Yeah. That's the man-eater. The eyes glowed the same way.
Yeah. As in the one in the basement of that place.
So we thought it was Mimihime,
I
but
guess
maybe there was
not.
two.
Well, there's all the little bits, and then there was the big one. Oh, that was freaky. I like how they got us with, like, the same trick twice.
Yeah. Jesus. Kona? Yeah.
これが悪いのコナ。
それはなんともないよ。
Or maybe the doctor's Kona.
時音を信用してし
It
まう。
looks like
is
Kona.
similar hair color to him.
And eye
Maybe a
color.
bit old, though.
Yeah.
いや、
まあ、二人とも大丈夫ならいいけど、
ミミ姫はなんでここに？
僕は。オーマってわかる？
あ、黒メガネの子だね。
そうそう、あの子の目を直に見たら幻覚を見せられて、それがなんていうかにしたような、いや幻覚なんだけど、僕は尖ったもの。
Yeah, weirdly reminiscent of what would actually happen in the future
Yeah.
as well.
それが怖く
I
な
was
い
thinking
よう
the
な
same
体
thing.
験をしたわけでもないのに。
It's not like I have a scary. Yeah.
僕は狭いところに閉じ込められるイメージが怖いし、そんな幻覚を見せられたら気絶すると思う。
Claustrophobic.
他の人には見えてないものが見えてるかもしれない。
例えば？
例えば宙に浮かんだ人影が見えたり、これから起きることが先に見えたり、でもぼやっとしてたり、いつ起きるかはよくわからない。
That doesn't look very vague to me.
ずっと未来のことのような気がしてたのに10秒後に起きたり、今も。
なるほど。それは予感とか予知の感覚だと思う。
Have we seen that
Was
one?
that the one that was eating them at the beginning?
Eating Haruki?
Yeah.
Mate, I was thinking the same thing. I don't think it is.
It was big like that.
Yeah, it looked similar. Maybe it was. We gotta go back and check that too.
オウム、どうしたの？こんな時間に。これ、ハンカチを渡すためにずっと待ってたの。耳姫、僕、ごめんなさい。
It's so sad knowing what happens to this kid.
Yeah.
Just trying to push through it.
Yeah.
Dude.
ほら、大丈夫。オーマの迷惑ってやつ。
She just needed to push through it and not be afraid. That's nice.
But sad.
Or maybe it has to do with her powers, that she can see things others can't, maybe?
Now why don't you do it then?
See any arms?
Sure, they could build themselves arms. They don't know what they're building.
ゴッドがゴーと言っている。計画を実行しましょう。園長不在の今がチャンスです。
下準備は整っていますが。
では具体的にはいつ？
外への門が開けばいつでも。
They're planning on sabotaging and stuff.
But he's on the fence.
入力の時間だ。失礼します。
沢谷先生。
Sawatari. Didn't we hear Sawatari? Didn't we hear Sawatari for the other guy?
We didn't. No one knew what his name was.
Why is everybody going to the pool?
In their clothes.
This is sketchy.
最後まで聞かないで水着で来ちゃったそそっかしいのが何人かいるな。アンズ。
Anzu, look who it is.
Yeah, that's a.
落っこちるなよ。
戻れるんだって。
また時をと会うよね。
お話をやめて終了してください。
What the fuck is gonna happen, dude? I'm terrified.
これからテストが始まります。長いテストになりますが、時間は十分にあります。
テスト？
答えに迷った時は自分が正しいと思った方へ進んでください。
They're gonna sacrifice all these kids? Survival of the fittest?
ことがキルコである皆さんの役割です。まもなく最初の問題が発生します。健闘を祈ります。
Oh no.
They're just this is them just getting released into the world.
This is them getting transformed forcibly, I think. Making to the outside of the outside. What does that mean, the outside of the outside? Just outside world, probably.
テストって何なのかな？
急だけど予告された以上抜き打ちではないよな。
なんだかわからないけど僕。
As you probably should be.
Good idea.
不安なのはこっちだよ。
そういう意味じゃないんだけどな。
なあ、ヒルコって言ってたよな。
言ってたっけ？
なんだか僕、すっかり忘れてた本当の名前を呼ばれた気がしたんだけど。
That's
See, they're having like future memories.
そんな気がした。
Tokyo Junior. Junior C. Junior C.
おやすみ。
Who's in the crib next door? Junior C. Junior clone?
Whoa.
So the person that Maru's going to find
Is
not Tokyo. It's a clone of himself. Maybe just the real him.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is getting complicated.
I don't like the sound of this.
Ceasing all operations. Or is it just gonna flood?
It's just gonna explode or something.
Or it's just gonna flood and they gotta find their way out. And if they die, they turn into fucking man-eaters, I guess. I thought it was gonna be crazier than that. But it looks like we're gonna get a crazy cliffhanger. Okay, let's check first thing. Let's check Kona's monster.
To see if it was similar to the one.
It looks similar, but it looks slightly different.
It's like the body shape is similar, but I don't remember the like face area looking like that.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No.
But did we see this one? Oh shit. Did we see that one before?
That one? I don't think so.
Yeah, because he got like sucked into it. And there's a clone of Maru.
Yeah, well, then that's kind of what I was talking about. Of like, if there was a twin, obviously there wasn't any actual twin, but then if they just created essentially a twin.
But then
version,
is Maru the twin or is Maru the real Maru?
Freaking freaky. That would be freaky.
And then did the fucking director succeed? And Maru's gonna run into himself clone, but it's the director still living large.
The only thing with that, yeah, I guess the only thing with that would be that it would be.
Okay, game.
Then the director would have only like just been able to transfer in, like he's 15 now, and they were saying that the container needs to be 15 at the very least 13. So in which case they would have had to keep that one there, and like have just done it like now. But we already know that everything's fucked up, and they all like went out, and obviously Mina has like a completely different plan because I don't like this is like different. Like, the director's having this whole thing of, like, keeping them here and, like, transferring your brain into them, but they're now being put into a test where they're clearly, this is where they all, like, escape and go to the outside of the outside.
I think Mina, here's what I think Mina's doing, yeah. I think they are planning to either, like, the facility is planning to hit the self-destruct button on all the kids that they don't need. So they call everyone there. They're like, okay, we need this. The plan is we're betting everything on Tokyo's kid. And then there's all this talk of like, it's happening soon. It's happening soon. And I think maybe the plan is to sacrifice all these kids because they don't need them anymore. And because they have Tokyo's kid, and bet it all on them because the director's life is running out. But then there's all this talk of like sabotage and stuff. But I think there's multiple sabotage plots. I think that there's the assistant director and Sawatari and Aoshima they had a plan to like usurp the power. Mina is having the people like work on the shit and plug this into that, into that. And so I think that the director is only planning to brain swap. I think the two others are planning to do this test thing. Or maybe the director's planning to do this test. And then Mina is sabotaging the test. So like the sabotage for the director is the test. Mina is sabotaging the test. Mm-hmm. That's my theory.
But then it's just such a mysterious test, and like why they all come to the pool, and then it's just that one that's in the pool is like.
And then the sound at the end is water squelching, and then the lights all turn off. It seems like the place is maybe gonna flood, and then
it's
when
really
they die,
weird
they turn
too.
into...
Like when you go look at Mina for a second. Like, when it, like, zooms out a little bit. Oh, my God. It looks like when it was saying that the babies are birthed from Mina or whatever. I think that means, like, literally they are being, like, grown in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said that before, that there's, like, there's hands on this giant freaky pregnant belly thing, and then there's the giant... Hiroko symbol. And then they're saying like Hiroko, it feels like they're saying my name from times past, and then in the future they're referred to as Hiroko. Mm-hmm. Right? So so that's weird. And then Mimihime is like having premonitions of the future as well, both saying to Kona and seeing Kona as a man-eater. Yeah. But also with all the surgical implements, because that's what happens to Mimihime later, all the surgery and being hooked up to all these machines, and she hates it. She tells the people who got, like that lady who got her leg amputated, she's like, I fucking hate this. Yeah. But she's really just complaining because she's in a terrible situation, but she's being kept alive in the best way possible. It's just painful as shit. Yeah. So it's like her hell, but she hates it, but she's, being prevented from turning into a man-eater. Yeah. So that was the confusion there, and that's her real fear. So... yeah. And then that makes sense too, that it's your ultimate fear. It's not just a random thing, because Haruki was being eaten.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too, because that's
the interesting. The test begins.
I so hope that we get a season 2 of this show, or else I'm gonna be so angry. So weird at this.
We better. Like literally.
And I wonder also because this guy was acting really hesitant, he was all like, oh,
he has the same thing
like
under his eyes.
the other girl was like, oh, should we like do it now that the director's not here? And he was kind of like, like not really like seeming super into it. And I
think
wonder,
he's torn between.
Well, I wonder if he made like the clone of this because he wants to live forever, secretly, like selfishly, like he's like looking at this as like a viable option for himself when he gets old. Though I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I think that he is torn between. I think he has a thing for Aoshima or whatever her name is. I think that he has a thing for her, and he wants to be the director. I'm not sure if he wants to. I don't know if he's as crazy about being immortal. Also, judging by the fact that if he could do that, he probably would have done that, and we wouldn't see him later. Like we see him unless he's brain swapped or some crazy shit. He has a scar on his head, so it's possible that he was brain swapped.
Or he gets
Somebody
hit
else brain
on the head during the collapse of this place.
I think that's more likely, and he's scarred on the head.
Yeah, it's interesting as well. Like I'm just very curious of what's going on in the outside world at this point, because when they're talking about like combatants and like what kind of world are you living in that allows this to get made, and like
I think this is just normal world.
It's just normal world.
I think that
like,
they're just like misanthropic.
Yeah, it's just.
I think they just hate people. They just hate real world. They feel that it's this god the director literally has a god complex. All these world leader people have god complex. The scientists might not on an individual level necessarily. Like I don't think Sawatari and like this whole thing of like it's very, if you think about it, this whole thing is very like Adam and Eve, like the two children created by God have a child, you know, and they like create this like new species or whatever, and there's like this, and they're like in heaven and like poking down at the world.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I feel like the next episode is gonna leave us on like the biggest cliffhanger.
Next
of all
episode is gonna be so violent.
Everyone's gonna get turned into stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, also this is confirmation. Like we didn't have full confirmation that it was Mimihime in the bandages and shit.
Yeah.
But I think now we do, because this girl, she befriends this girl, and this girl is definitely that creature.
It seems like what's gonna happen is like the three of them are gonna get out of here together. And
the girl's gonna die of her wounds or something. And
no, the girl's gonna turn into that first, and then that's what's gonna prompt him to be performing.
Yeah.
Like that's where they figure out what's going on with this disease.
Exactly, and maybe he doesn't for some reason. Maybe he is just.
Well, it seems like
whether you're affected by. It seems like most people are affected by that we've seen. Like most of the characters that we see in this have some relation to that. Either except for the other girl, the other mom. Of the two like lesbian girls who had the kid with Juichi.
Yeah. Well,
we don't know what happened to the other one though, so maybe it's Kuku's
it
probably
seems
the
like
fish
they both
creature.
Got killed. I had even been wondering if like that spider had been like one half of each of them,
and
somehow,
they were like,
and like
fused at the head and it ate legs,
or like like one of them was kind of in that butt area that had that like one power, and then the other half like ran off and they didn't know where it went.
Oh.
They like thought that
because they shot it in half or whatever, and then Himaru touched it. But no, he didn't, because he felt and he didn't feel the core.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good theory. That would be crazy.
There could also just be another one in that area running around. We don't know. Or perhaps the disease hadn't been like far long enough that when they died, it like anything happened. Because as we saw, whatever the guy that was with Mimihime seemingly hadn't been at all affected by the disease 15 years later.
But we don't know if he did something to himself.
We don't know. But then also we saw the girl who gave them the gun, and how like seemingly the disease had like just been getting bad at this point 15 years later. So it's interesting the timeline and like what would cause it to go faster for some people and faster for other people.
I think it might just be random, or how related you are to like the core of the man-eater gene. Like Asura died, I think it must have been, now that we're talking ages, like at 15. That sounds about right?
Yeah, I think so. Because
Kona, they would happen like a year or two ago. Kona is older than 15.
Yeah.
Well, like on the upper end of these kids.
Yeah.
Or maybe 13. Maybe Kona's 15 and that was 13. It was like a year or two ago.
Tokyo might be 15 and Kona might be 16 or 17. I'm not sure. Maybe
in that area, because they said, I'm just going off because there's like the important ages are like 13 or 15, and things happened like 2 to 3 years ago, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about all of that. But yeah, the speed of it seems like... do we know what Taro's, the first kid who died and they found the core, what his power was? I don't think we saw he had a power. That was before...
I think it was because they, like, cremated him right away.
I know, but, like, I was thinking maybe there'd be something. Anyway, another thing that maybe will help us figure something out is the King of Hotels had a core. So the King of Hotels was obviously young and was probably the child of Anzu or another one of the kids.
Yeah.
And seemed to be turning into a Hiriko.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so I think it might just be random, or there might be like some of them are more related. So or it's also when you die, you turn into one if you're one of these kids.
But you can just like get to that point without like while you're still alive. So
or it like takes over you and you get like that like leukemia. What the hell? I'm starting to get it. Looks like, what the hell is that? Got a weird bruise on my wrist. Or like a rash thing. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. I don't even know. I look down, I'm like talking about like all these marks on your bodies, and I look down and I'm like, oh shit, is it happening to me? Anyway. Maybe there's something like the more related you are to like the core foundation of all this, the faster you turn, and you know, when you die, it seems like when you die you turn, but when you but you can like get the better of you randomly, you know.
Yeah, but then at the same time, if you die you turn, how soon does that happen? And if you die, it doesn't count if you die before you start exhibiting symptoms of the stuff, because the freaking dude who was looking after her killed himself with a gun.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't turning. He didn't show signs of turning.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, that's why I'm wondering if it's not just when they die. It's like the disease has to have, like, already activated, and it has to be already kind of taking over their body, rather than just being in there. Like, it's always in there, dormant, and then once it activates, then if you die, something will happen. But if you die...
That must have to do with the vial.
Yeah.
As like it must be a vaccine of some sort. But yeah, then maybe if now that we know that there's a clone of Maru's ability is to destroy man-eaters, to destroy the core. Maybe the clone is to create it, and the director took control of the clone that can create it. Or maybe that's Tokyo's ability, is to create cores, or maybe that's Kona's ability. Is to create cores, and he manifests the core. Or he has, I don't know. We still don't know fully. Kona seems like OP. He has premonitions. He has seemingly premonitions, like future memory type shit, but also like weird intuitions or maybe possible manifestation, like people have hinted at. Again, we don't know if I'm not 100% if that's a spoiler or a theory, because like the only time that I got that idea was by reading the comments.
Yeah. And
like I didn't get that idea when we were watching. It seemed like all we saw in that flashback when we first met Asura, and Asura killed themselves, and have probably transferred into Mina, is a green glow when we saw Kona wake up, like, oh, Asura, runs towards Asura, sees Asura killing themselves, and then jumps off, and then the same green energy that was making up the wings of Asura, like, carried him down. And that's all I really know happened. And then obviously the weird shit of drawing the creatures that would eventually happen. But that seems more akin to a sharper version of Mimihime's ability, not necessarily creating that, but maybe he is.
It is interesting as well, though, because he's not really getting, as far as we know, he's not getting visions like Mimihime, where she is, like, experiencing and seeing stuff, but he is able to draw stuff, and also he, like, has the thing of, like, Asura, and also, like, the baby's being born. So I wonder if it's like, and then he's sickly, and then he's laying in the bed after the baby is born, and it's like physically taken a toll on him. And I wonder if that's because he is like kind of unconsciously like creating these abilities or these like things in other people, like and it like is taxing on him to do it, even though he's not trying to do it. But I don't know.
Did we see, was that at the start of the episode when Kona was like, the baby's being born, and then he collapses?
Yeah.
And then he grabs his stomach like he's like the core. What if Kona like took the core of the kid like out and put it in him?
Somehow.
Because he seems sure, like, oh, the baby will be born, the baby will be fine. And then he's, like, suffering. So maybe if he has the power to, like, create them or to control that transformation in some way, he can maybe choose not to do it in some. Like his baby. I don't know. I'm becoming more and more confident that Sawatari is the doctor scientist guy.
It would make sense to be able to perform a surgery like that.
Yeah, and because we just talked about brain transfers, you know, like it makes sense. And then he's the guy who performed the brain transfer before, and he's the assistant director, and she's like trusting everything in him to like transfer her brain.
Yeah,
it's a open and shut case.
Well, he's not even the assistant director. The other girl's the assistant director, and that was the lead.
She's the next director. He's the assistant director.
No, I'm pretty sure that it was like between the two of them, and then she got chosen, and then she said, "Oh, well, being the assistant director is basically agreeing to one day be the director, as in like,
right.
as in like that's why I can.
Director.
I'm the director. The director isn't a position. The director is me.
I am the king." I love Mimihime's ears. Mimihime and this girl is so wholesome.
I know, it's just so sad.
It's so sad knowing how tragic their ending was. I feel like we've seen this thing. Have we seen this thing?
I don't think we have, but it is very familiar.
It's so familiar. Right? And maybe it just looks like
Maybe it's just like a combination of so many of them.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the one that was the Vision, Oma's man-eater, like that was all all like slimy and like stuck to walls and shit in the parking garage. It feels like that, and it also feels like the one that ate Haruki.
Yeah, and it's more like bear style. Like the body is more like, I don't know, like a certain way.
And the blood stuff or something. If Kona can somehow create the man-eaters, it makes this is kind of like maybe this is that like in the man-eater form.
I thought that it would have
like
been really
representative of that.
I thought that it would have been really interesting if this had been the one from the beginning, and like the blood was Haruki's blood. I thought that would have been really interesting. And then it also would have been super crazy of like that he did that, and like all of those actions combined like made his child like team up
right.
Like that I feel like it's obviously not that, but I feel like that would have been really cool.
He's having like future, or maybe we're just wrong, and maybe
it like changes.
Yeah, maybe this is the same one, and it's just armor. And this one's talking, and it might just be Mimihime like having the conversation, and it's like distorted because she's having a vision while talking to him. Or maybe the man-eater it's literally what you said, and this man-eater version is the one that ate Haruki, and it covered itself up or like armored itself, and it's aware. It's not like the other man-eaters because it's Kona. It's aware, and it did that on purpose.
I wonder if there's any drawings of that man-eater.
Yeah, we see Kona's room at the end. Do you remember? No, I don't, but I think we see...
They were in Tokyo's room, not Kona's room.
Oh. The episode that the drawings were in, I'm not even sure.
I think it was maybe that one.
The Cuckoo episode?
Yeah, because...
we see them multiple times, but there's one, I know what you mean. I need to go to the bathroom 1 second. Okay. You try to find it while I go to the bathroom. You see it?
I don't think it was in that episode.
I don't think it was in the earlier ones. Let me see. Oh. Two people from the outside come to help me. And going outside
at the end when she wanted to go outside,
dies, and that's helping her because she has like indirect weird visions of the future
that aren't like accurate.
Confirmed, even more confirmed.
I guess maybe it wasn't here. I was just checking.
It's like Majora's Mask. Oh, the two.
Yeah.
So like
that's
like Maru and the clone.
Before, yeah.
All these ones joined at the head. 4 people joined at the head.
There's the whales one and like that, which I can't really see what that is. It looks weird. Looks like something underwater, maybe.
It looks like something getting eaten.
To me, it looks like a little like seal or something.
This is like the core. It's what the one that she just put up is like. It kind of looks like a core, a little bit, And then these are all these shadows looking down on it. It's like kind of afraid. That might be more symbolic. I'm not sure. I think we saw another shot later at some point. I wonder what the 4 in the head represent. Oh, it's like fire. This is fire.
Interesting. To me, when I look at it, I see an underwater cave, and then that's like a weird little seal thing, like that's a fin there.
It does look like a fin. It's like a it's smiling.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It looks like fire to me. And then yeah, this egg with 10 wings and 2 people in it. That's weird.
And I also do and I wonder if maybe a bunch of them die right here, and like I remember people reported seeing like how Oscar like turned into like people like reported seeing that just like flying all around the sky all over the place.
Maybe it's all the kids that
if
die.
That's the ones that die.
Yeah, like I said during the episode, I think that this is Taka because Taka means like hawk or falcon, and this is a
like
bird creature.
Bird
and then
thing,
I
and
think
he's really like athletic and jumping around and everything.
I think in the last episode we saw Taka jumping around all over the place. No, right here.
Yeah.
In this episode, we see Taka jumping around all over the place.
It's just so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Now I just want to go through all the episodes and put all the theories together, but I can't because Disney Plus is ruining our life. Is there anything else you'd even say? I feel like I feel like I'm just stressed out, and I feel like what's happening right now is we just got a lot of information. They're putting up the stress, and I want to figure out as much as possible because it's the only answer to like this feeling that I have right
resolution.
now. Yeah. It's a different face.
Yeah.
It can't be Kona.
Oh yeah, there was a gunshot, wasn't there?
Was there a gunshot? What the fuck?
That's such a cool shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing. No one else knew about this brain transplant. Like,
He probably did the experiment, switched her brain, and then dumped her off here saying, oh, she's fucked up. And then people were going missing. All the kids here who stayed here went missing. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, was that just like random, like someone was kidnapping kids at the same time? Or does that have to do with all of this?
I completely forgot about that part. And this thing turns into a core watch briefly. Like right in the middle, and then it turns this. And then Kona's giving the volleyball to Tokyo as well. One of the few after credits in this show.
これは時代にあげる約束だから。
だって本当の赤ちゃんを。ほら福君、テーブルに乗ってはいけません。
She's about to say babies don't have faces.
あっち行くよ。本物の赤ちゃんには顔がないんだ。時をも見に行く？
I think that was just foreshadowing that they'd have a baby because he said he was going to give it to Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's too much going on. I feel like we're really, really close. Like I feel
Also,
like
I feel like the next episode is gonna be like, well, because I feel like
fucking
pretty much
ballroom
everything
blitz.
has been revealed at this point, other than like the specifics of what actually happens.
Yeah.
Next episode, basically, of like how everyone breaks out of there or like leaves or like what whatever happens in the next episode. We'll kind of tie it all in together.
Also, the episode called Cuckoo is the one with the fish. Isn't that sad? I just put that together.
That's sad.
Killed by a bunch of fucking weed.
Yeah, what a horrible way to die, too.
Oh my god, bro. I guess there's nothing else to say.
No.
It's crazy. I feel like next episode shit's gonna go down in heaven, but also we're gonna get a big big reach around, so to speak, with meeting what's his name,
That guy.
who's at the place. Yeah,
the guy that they've been
Maru
looking for.
and Kiriko are going to.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna leave on the biggest cliffhanger of all time. I can already feel the cliffhanger, and it's been interesting because this show hasn't really had like cliffhangers. You know, like it's not like
not really. Yeah,
it's
like some
there's
small
mysteries,
ones,
but
they
it's
don't
not,
like
they aren't like amping it up for the entire episode and then like cutting it off right before the end.
It's like Kiriko gets eaten by all those little things, and then the episode ends there. It's like, no, that's fully explained, and then the cliffhanger is seeing the doctor, who's just like being a little bit creepy. That's the cliffhanger we get. They could make it so much worse, but they could just like slightly offset this show, and it would be like a major cliffhangers every episode, but they didn't do that. So that's why I feel like something crazy is coming next episode. I mean,
they're gonna cliffhanger
right.
it, and then I feel like we won't get a season 2, but I really want there to be.
I think that's why they would do the cliffhanger. That's why I'm scared of a cliffhanger, because they might not be confident that they'd get a season 2 100%. I fucking really hope they do. I think that there's a good chance that they will.
I hope so. It's just like so many times there's good shows and they don't get a season 2.
But maybe that's why that's also why I think there would be a cliffhanger. Not because if they do a cliffhanger and if they don't think they're going to get a season, if they don't think they're going to get a season 2, so then okay, let's do a cliffhanger. That way people will go buy the manga sales will go up, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, the anime was really successful, it drove all these sales, now we can do a season 2. So there's probably going to be a huge cliffhanger, and I'm not excited for it.
I'm scared.
I'm so scared.
I think we should end it off there.
Yeah, we should. I just want to keep watching it. It's such a good show. See you guys next time. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.